Hi, I'm Janelle McGuire, and this is 7 Secrets to a Successful Giveaway to Grow Your Email List. And this is where I'm taking you behind the scenes to share wisdom that you can use to grow your business, whether or not a giveaway is the right next step for you. Um, I didn't say this in the first video, but I thought I'd let you know that I'm coming to you live from my kid's room, which has the best light in the house right now. And you might hear sounds of our household. You might hear sounds of our neighborhood. You might hear sounds of traffic. like, we don't have a fancy recording studio here yet. So just to be aware of that. And I share that with you, first of all, to give some context for some of the noises you might hear. But secondly, because today's video is all about, let me show you. Boo, boo, boo. Today's video is all about my top 3 mistakes that I made while hosting my giveaway. And I want you to know that you can make mistakes, and you will make mistakes every step of the way throughout your business, whether it's day one and you're just starting out, or you've been in business for 25 years. There's going to be mistakes all the time, and I'm not going to let that stop me from contributing and for looking for people that I can help, for living the life that I want to live, and doing the type of work that I want to do and doing it on my terms. So I'm making mistakes all the time. I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 mistakes for my giveaway, but I also wanted to share with you the context of like, hey, I'm making mistakes right now. Like, I didn't get a fancy recording studio that was soundproof in order to bring this information to you, but I'm going for it anyways. All right, so are you ready for the top 3 mistakes that I made while hosting my giveaway, what they cost me, and what I'll do differently next time for an even more successful event? Here goes. Oh my goodness, why is Avril Lavigne here judging me silently? She's asking me, why did I have to go and make things so complicated? That was my first mistake. I made things a bit too complicated. And like I shared with you in the first video, I like to be very thorough, but there is some gray area between being thorough and being overly complicated. So what this cost me, you saw all the follow-up that I did in order to get contributors on board for the giveaway, that I shared in the first video. And I feel that if I had made it simpler for my contributors from the get-go, that I may have seen more of those strategic partners saying yes, maybe during the first email invitation that I sent them. Maybe even some of those, uh, remember how I said that there was 84 partners that I was interested in bringing on board to give their gifts to the giveaway? If I had made it simpler, maybe I would have even surpassed the 36 that were originally, or that were finally on board with me. If it was simpler, maybe we would have been beyond that. And also, if I had made it simpler, I could have probably saved myself a lot of time in doing that follow-up. So in the first video, I extolled the virtues of follow-up and told you that the fortune is in the follow-up. But if I had made it simpler, I might have not had to do so much follow-up. You feel me? Okay. So that's mistake number 1 that I made, was being a little complicated. So the lesson that we can take from this is think things through, but then make it simple. Make it simple. One thing that I wanted to share with you from my experience of doing this is that we are bombarded with information all the time. And this might sound kind of rude, but people don't read. People don't read. Even the smartest people, like, hello, I'm guilty of this too, where I'll just skim something quickly. I really, like I said, I try to be thorough, but even sometimes I'm rushing through things and I will miss key details because I'm looking for, the skimmable headlines, or I'm looking for the button to click, instead of reading everything thoroughly. So people don't read. And another thing is, even the most successful people, the people who are at their top of their game, they sometimes read the least, because either A, they're super busy and they don't have time to read a complicated essay or email or anything like that, so it's got to be super simple, or B, they are experts at prioritizing their time, so those random messages aren't going to make the cut unless you get to the point really fast and like make it very compelling. So again, keep it simple, keep it clear. Don't make things so complicated so that Avril Lavigne judges you silently. Okay, what was my next mistake? Now you can see here, Michael Jackson makes going backwards look really good, right? The expert moonwalker. But for me, I went backwards in one crucial way that I didn't realize until I was already partway through delivering the giveaway to our guests. It had gone public. We were promoting it to people so that they could come join us and get the free gifts. And I was like, light bulb moment, like, oh my gosh, I did this thing backwards. So I'm going to tell you about how I structured my giveaway backwards. And what I'm going to do instead. All right, so let me switch slides here. I'm showing you my calendar. Let me move here. I'm going to make myself a little bit tinier if I can. Yeah, I'm going to hang out on this weekend. Okay, there's nothing going on there. Yeah. Okay, so this is the calendar of the giveaway that I just delivered for Mother's Day, May 2020. The giveaway was the Mompreneur Gifts for Mother's Day 2020 extravaganza. So what did I do? I released all the gifts. So like I said, I had 36 contributors. So we were giving away 37 free gifts, including my own. And I released all of those. We actually released them on our launch day, which was Thursday the 7th. So the entire goodie bag was open on Thursday the 7th through the entire period. So Thursday the 7th through the end date, which was the 15th. But we were kind of talking about all the gifts. Like there's 37 free gifts from the 7th through the 10th, which was Mother's Day, right? And so the whole point was, get your Mother's Day gifts, mompreneurs. So I was talking about all the gifts on Mother's Day, get your goodie bag. And then what I knew leading up to this and planning it, I knew that the amount of gifts that I wanted to have was going to be really overwhelming. So I wanted to break them up so that people could be featured, my contributors could be featured in a smaller bundle so that it wasn't so overwhelming. So I had featured emails for 5 of my contributors that were featured, and then there were smaller bundles that went out. And so what each of these represents is an email that went out to everyone who had put their name and email in to get the goodie bag. So my thinking was that we were going to have most people enter their name and email to get the goodies between the 7th and the 10th. And then through the following week, it was going to be kind of like, hey, here's these goodies. In case you haven't had a chance to look at them yet, here's these. And then here's those, and here's these, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And like, okay, it's your last chance. Like if you haven't seen them by now, then it's over. It seems like a good plan. But on Monday, after I sent out the first featured email and I was preparing this afternoon email with the highlighting of the 7 gifts, I realized my mistake. Mother's Day was over. It was done. It was yesterday. And I was like, oh my goodness, why am I still talking about Mother's Day gifts after Mother's Day is over? I totally did this backwards. So the cost of this mistake was that I felt like energetically that I had to generate momentum and excitement about these Mother's Day gifts in order to, be of service to the contributors who had so kindly been part of this event. I had to keep promoting it, keep following through and delivering on what I had promised. But instead of being able to harness the momentum and energy that already existed leading up to the Mother's Day holiday, it was like, okay, it had already ended, and now I'm still kind of like beating on this thing that's kind of over. So whoops, I realized that on Monday. I was like, backwards. I did it backwards. So what am I going to do instead? Next year, already planning for next year. All right, so here's my calendar for next year. You can see Mother's Day is again on a Sunday, like always. And I believe that breaking up the giveaway into digestible pieces was really smart, because having a big giveaway like that, it is really easy for the guest to get overwhelmed with all of the amazing goodness. And I want my contributors to be seen and valued and appreciated. So I will do that again, but this time I'm going to do all of the features before Mother's Day so that we are building the anticipation for the holiday, and then all of the gifts are available on the holiday. So you can see here, Monday the 3rd is going to be our launch day. I'm going to talk about our first featured gift, and then I'm going to highlight 3 gifts instead. So I'm going to have fewer gifts. You can see here I'm going to have 20 gifts next year instead of 36. And that's just because of the feedback that I got that like the giveaway was a lot. It was a little overwhelming, even with the little emails highlighting things. So we're going to do 20 gifts, and then we're going to start featuring them the week before Mother's Day, so we can kind of build anticipation, because during this week is the week that people are thinking about, oh, Mother's Day is coming on Sunday. What are we going to do for mom? And then as the mom entrepreneur, who's the target recipient for my giveaway, that woman might be thinking to herself, what nice thing am I going to do for myself on Sunday? So she's kind of thinking about it coming. So this will be a nice teaser, like every day, of like, here's something nice for you. Here's another nice thing for you. Ooh, Mother's Day is only a couple days away. Make sure you get these gifts. Here's something else for you. And then boom, on the weekend, all the gifts are available. We've built up to that moment. And then the Monday and Tuesday will be like the last chance for any stragglers. We don't want anyone saying like, oh, I was too busy having brunch with my family and I forgot to download the gifts. So we're going to have it open for a couple days after Mother's Day, but I won't have to, it's going to be more of that like last chance energy and not like, hyping up something that's already happened. So we'll see how that goes next year. But the lesson is build up to the moment. Don't go backwards like I did. So I want to know, how can you use this with your promotions? So if you structure a giveaway like mine, it's pretty obvious how to use this advice or this lesson. But if a giveaway is not the right next step for you, you can still use this concept to improve your marketing calendar. So look for ways to align your offerings to build up to a moment or build up to a holiday, instead of swimming upstream because you missed the moment. So learn from my mistakes. Okay. All right. Here is a bit of humor for you. Anyone recognize Will and Grace from the 90s? I love this joke. What's the point? So we've got, I don't remember who this character is because I was a kid when I used to watch this with my mom, but me and my mom to this day still joke about this scene where she says, no panty line because no panties. So the point here is, my mistake was not providing a seamless experience. So pun intended, but the seamless experience. So for the most part, my guest experience as people interacted with getting their online goodie bag through the giveaway. It was for the most part pretty top notch, but I made one major mistake, which I will show you. And I had two guests bring it to my attention, but it was the last day of the giveaway. So it had already been, open for over a week, and it was the last day. So at that point, the damage was kind of done, and I wasn't going to stress myself out trying to fix this on the very last day. But we will correct it for next year. So let me tell you what was the mistake that I made in not providing a seamless guest experience. All right, so in order to do so, I'm going to walk you through what the guest experienced in order to get to the online goodie bag in order to claim their free gifts. So I want you to know that I had tested the guest experience and I knew exactly what was going to happen when every single link was clicked, but I had made some assumptions about how the guest was going to perceive what happened that was inaccurate. So it's always good to have multiple people test your guest experience so that you can pick up on any different perceptions so that you can really iron it out and make it a good experience for as many people as possible. All right, so here's the flow that my guests went through. So first they would enter their name and email into the form in order to access the gifts for free. And then they were taken to what I call my success page. And this was important because it told them I was using what's called double opt-in. So they have to confirm in their email that they want to receive messages from me before they were going to get access to the gifts, because I did not want any spam. Like there's a lot of robot like auto form fillers, and you can get a lot of fake submissions or typos, or people could enter someone else's email who didn't actually want it. So that's why I use double opt-in. Also because it's the law, or at least best practice in a lot of places around the world. So the success page tells the guest to confirm their email, check their email, look for a subject line as such. Now, even this is a little questionable because, like I said before, people don't read. So this is kind of like a lot of words. So if there's any way that I could tighten it up or make it even more clear, or maybe even have a video that played automatically that said it like, hey, go check your email, that might be better. Okay, so what happens next? You would get the email, and you'd have to click the button that says, yes, give me access. So what I've shown you here is one of those guests who brought this issue to my attention. It's her copy of the email. It says, Janelle, this just goes back to the sales page. So that was the mistake there. You click, yes, give me access. And here's a little note that I wanted to show you. I think I'm going to come back to that though. So you click the button, yes, give me access, and then you go to a page that says that your subscription is confirmed. And a lot of people, and this is what I didn't realize, because I've opted into so many mailing lists over the past decade, that I just know, like, after your subscription is confirmed, just close this window and go back to your email because that's where the gift is. But a lot of people don't know that. People are used to the easy, seamless experience. So what happened? A lot of people clicked continue to our website, and they were expecting to be taken to the free gifts because they want quick and easy, click the button, give me the free stuff, right? So what happened when they clicked continue to my website? They went to my main website, which is what's linked to my MailChimp account. So everyone who opts in to receive something from me sees this page, and it goes to my general website. What was there? An advertisement for the giveaway that would take them right back to the sign up page, no gifts in sight. Whoops. So I want to take you back to that email and show you the little note that I had talked about. I had clued them in. After you click this button, once you click the button above and confirm your request, you will get another email with access to what you've requested. And that would be the gifts, right? But like I said, no one reads. So I got to make this simpler next time. And, you know, it wasn't good enough. So it's got to be better next year. Okay, so let me see if there's any notes about this that I wanted to share with you. All right, so the cost of this mistake, guests ended up on this advertisement page for the giveaway instead of ending up on the page with the gifts. And so the cost of this mistake was frustrating and confusing some of my guests. It slightly taints the guest experience and their perception of like what it is that you have to offer. What it is that I have to offer, kind of makes them wonder like, hey, is this Janelle person actually going to deliver on her promises, or is she just going to make me jump through hoops for her own amusement? No. So my goal is to create connections and deliver value, and to develop positive relationships with the people who are on my email list. So frustrating and confusing them is the exact opposite effect that I want to have. So I will be correcting this and creating a seamless guest experience in the future. So what happened next? Here's the email, that the official welcome email that they got right after clicking that button. So the good news is that 70% of all the guests who completed the opt-in process in order to get the free gifts in my giveaway, 70% did open this welcome email. So that means that 70% of people saw the message of how to get all of the free gifts. So that's great news. The other piece that I'm happy to report is that I did send at least 11 more emails throughout the duration of the giveaway that directed my guests to the gifts page. So there was lots of opportunities that they had to get the free gifts that they had asked for. It was just such a bummer to realize on the very last day that I could have done it better to make that experience better for them, and to get them access to those gifts quicker and easier. So that will definitely be happening next year. And if you're wondering about the 2 guests that notified me about the error, they did both eventually see this official welcome email. They did get access to all the gifts, so they're good. Okay. So the lesson from this is test, test, test your guest experience. Get a second pair of eyes on your workflow. Yeah, and get a third pair of eyes on the workflow, because yeah, we need as many people to edit and proofread copy and an experience as possible. All right, so those were the 3 big mistakes that I made. There was so many more lessons and mistakes that I could share with you, that I learned through hosting this giveaway. But to get through all of it would probably be like a full 2-day workshop. So I know what I've given you today, as well as in the previous video with the lessons, is plenty for you to work with. And remember, I'm sharing this with you so that you can grow your business whether or not a giveaway is the right next step for you. So I do want you to know whether hosting a giveaway is the right next step for you, and that is the topic of my next video. Let me move myself so you can see my linky poo. Okay. So you will discover that in the 3rd and final video, how to know whether hosting a giveaway is the right next step for you. But in closing for today, what I want you to know is, despite the mistakes, this was such a valuable and successful experience for me. And I really want to encourage you to go for whatever it is that you're looking to create, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes, and that's okay. As long as you do your best to correct them, learn from them, and keep growing. So if you have any more specific questions about what I've shared with you so far, I'd love for you to book a strategy session with me. This is a free opportunity for you to ask more questions about what you've learned so far, or simply to bring your biggest business challenge to the table and have an experienced coach help you with it. That's me. So go ahead to the link, book your time with me, and then I'll see you at the next video where we can help you decide um, if hosting a giveaway is the right next thing for you. Alrighty, thank you so much. Mwah.